I'm Sarah Starr, and this is your space weather forecast for the day. Today is Geomagnetic Storm Day. Are you ready? Even if you're not, too bad, it's here. We hit shock arrival levels later last night, and it is continuing today. We are increasing in our solar winds. We are expected to see that X-class flare arrive today, and will reach around KP6, KP7 levels. Aurora Borealis will be seen all over. So if you are in the northern hemisphere or some reason you live in Antarctica, you'll be able to see this if you haven't already, because it's prominent literally right now. Before we get into the solar weather, let's talk about the energy today. Do you feel off? Do you feel fatigued? Do you feel emotionally triggered? Good. This is an indication that you are well on your way in the ascension process. Because today we are feeling a little vulnerable, especially when it comes to your true feeling. There's discontentment in certain relationships right now, and they're going to reach a boiling point where you speak your mind, which is a good thing, but you're going to be triggered and you are going to activate this. However, as the day goes on, you will gain stability and clarity. This is going to help you make a plan, because later in the day, you're going to be able to release those emotions. And this is going to help you progress towards those goals. This is that big picture. It has your head and your heart space innerly connected, something that you can agree upon, and it is going to finally be revealed. So yay! So other than the planetary energies, you are going to feel a lot today with geomagnetic storms. If you haven't already, or you knocked on your ass, or you zoom in, it's usually either one or the two, also depending on if you're sensitive or not to the energy. But let's look at the sun. So we have 8 sunspots today. We are going to look at this region right in the middle of the sun, 3519, and we will look at that big region, 3514, that is heading off of the limb of the sun today. But I do want to note we have regions that are not numbered. This side particularly is very, very bright, so I'm interested to see what the one looks like. But the probable flares are pretty low today. 3514 is still spitting a lot of light, but the percentages have went down, especially since this is heading off of the western quadrant. And there it goes. Say bye-bye 3514. So it can still emit a lot of light. It is still very large in size, although it drops down in size as it heads off, but still high complexity area. Still a 25% for an X-class, 25% proton levels in that specific region, but we are getting steady C-class flares. We might not see any eruptions, or we might just see a big bright area if it does go off, but there will be no Earth-directed components with this because it is so far western. But here's 3519, right in the middle of the sun. This came together quite nicely. So we have a new contender. Although there are several buffers here, we'll see if it does get closer, those buffers dissipate or whatnot, but we do have a 40% chance of seeing some C-class flares. Because 3514 is heading off of the limb of the sun, we're gonna have some relatively lower solar activity until one of these regions gains more complexity. And just a note, here is our coronal hole. They are pretty large in size, and we do have some filaments that are surrounded it. So we could be expected to see some filament eruptions, but note this side of the sun, the region that is not numbered yet, lots of light. So this is a solar wind index. We are currently at a KP5, so we are in a G1 geomagnetic storm. We kind of slowly climbed since yesterday. We have not hit the higher percentage marks of this yet because we still are waiting for that X-class flare shock arrival. Remember, these are back to back to back. So you can see we did have a spike right here up into the levels of 500 and between 550. We are expected to see around 600 to 700 kilometers per second with that anticipated arrival of the CME. So yet again, you can see the velocity here hitting us straight on. This is going to be today and tomorrow, but pretty direct impact, lots of energy. This is the velocity. But our solar winds are around 550 right now. They keep fluctuating up and down. Same with density, quite a big spike. So that's the indication of that shock arrival, of course, and went straight into our 30 density range. So it is moderately high right now. It is going up, it is going down. Right now, we're actually at a 25, and it's not 23, but yet again, we're gonna see this rise as well because we're gonna get hit with speed, we're going to get hit with density, and we're gonna get hit with pressure. And then here's the density, same exact thing. We will be hit with this today. It's going to be from all factors. You're not going to feel that great. And here's our Schumann today. So note, look up here, we have a little bit of baby purging, but it's a lot more integration. But if you look at this, with all the incoming solar energy right now, our frequency is a lot higher, like a lot higher. So let's take note of that. Very interesting. So did you feel the shock arrival today? Pay attention to how you're feeling today. See if you can feel the second arrival. And if you're feeling weird, just check your watch and you're like, oh, okay, note the time. And then let's put it all together. So comment what you're feeling and the time that you're feeling it in my comments. And then let's figure out if this all is correlated. If you guys are feeling all of these symptoms at the same exact time. I find that so interesting. So hydrate today because there's lots of geostorms. Eating lighter today is a better choice because you don't want to digest dense energy foods when you're having dense energy already being pushed upon you. And of course, do your self-care. Today is a great day for it. I'm Sarah Starr, and this is your space weather forecast for the day. Love ya.